Welcome to Actors 2020 podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Keatth, and today we have a very special guest star. He's an actor, he's a musician, and if I had to describe this young man in 3 words, it would be an inspirational, hustling entrepreneur. Let's go to the phone lines and give him a call. He goes by the name of Kay, and we're going to see what he has to offer you. And here we go.
Hello.
Hello, Kay?
Yes, man. Who's calling?
Hey, it's Johnny Keatth from Actors 2020 podcast. How are you?
Hey, Johnny. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. First of all, I love the name Kay because it's my dad's middle name, and he's deceased. And for the last 2 days doing research on you, he's been popping up in my head. And, so I actually want to thank you for that.
Awesome. I'm honored. That's dope. I'm really honored. Thank you, matter of fact.
I introduced you as an actor, a musician. I described you in 3 words, and those were an inspirational, hustling entrepreneur. I think that would be correct, right?
Yes, sir. Very much so. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Are you here in rainy LA right now, or are you somewhere else?
Yes, I am. I'm experiencing for the first time in my 3 years in LA. This is the most rain I've ever seen. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I noticed your area code was from New Jersey, and that's where you're originally from, right?
Yes, I am. I was raised in Atlanta, but I was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So it's like still ATL, the whole little abbreviation. I'm still ATL.
Yeah, okay. So you went to school in Atlanta, and you were playing instruments and in a marching band?
Yes, sir. I was actually in the marching band all 4 years of high school. That was the easiest way for a college scholarship at the time.
Yeah.
But it was good for me. I love music, so that was like a plus, and I actually chose that over football, which I played that all the way up until senior year, like a little bit of my senior year, but then I stopped and I focused more on the band and took it more seriously a little leading out of high school.
So that's pretty cool. You got more balls than I do because I played the cornet all the way through elementary, junior high, high school, and right when it became time to do the marching band, I'm like, I'm out.
Hey, man, that's funny because when I remember one time I was actually in middle school and I joined the orchestra, being funny for the girls, and come to find out I actually learned how to play the violin. So it's like being a joke just getting in it for the girls. I'm the only guy in there at the time that's actually playing the violin, and then I like hip-hop, pop, so it's like I'm trying different songs, it was kind of cool though. I have a love for all kind of instruments.
What other instruments did you play?
Trumpet. After the trumpet, before I actually made it to the percussion line, like I said, I played the orchestra, I played the clarinet, certain wind ones, when you get in the band, you try different reed instruments, nothing too big. I wish I was a sax player, that's the most sexiest instrument there is.
That's true. When you were younger, did you or always musically, or did you kind of want to be in the acting business before the musical business?
I've never never actually narrowed it down, It was always more of an entertainer. I wanted to entertain people. I would come up with skits, me and my younger siblings, where certain shows we would imitate, like my sister would do this funny thing, and I came up with the whole gimmick. She would get on her knees, put shoes on her knees, and look like, a smaller person or a little person, which is horrible, but it being funny as a comedian, we were young and trying to be funny. We would do this for my mom's friends and people who would come over, and my mom and them would always die laughing, and they were like, no, you have to see this. It's not even a joke. So it ended up becoming a thing, and we would put together a little skit that later led to other stuff. So
that's awesome. That's the toughest audience is your family, because they'll tell you if it sucks or not.
You're definitely right. They'll tell you immediately.
I was looking up some of your acting stuff, and I saw that where you went on that judge show with that court show.
Oh, yes, man.
That was awesome. That was really awesome.
It was actually a kind of a downtime, but it became better. You work out differences, and you find out that even amongst the business and as growing up and learning, you find out your worth as men and gentlemen. Everything doesn't have to end bad or even negatively, especially if you're willing to be successful if that's what you want. So it was kind of cool taking care of it and handle the situation, and both of us are still friends.
Yeah, but it ended pretty good. So, and just based on that appearance, that got you a role on a movie called Fate?
Well, I've shot that almost 2 years ago, and I'm just now saying to myself, besides people who were like, hey, I've seen you on so-and-so, I've seen you on cable, which is the greatest feeling ever, so it's super dope. I love it. Hey, man, I got something big up my sleeve for them, for everybody as far as right now. Two major lead roles for them that I'm working on right now.
Yeah, you're already cast in it?
I'm casted. I start on this Sunday for the table read. I got casted on a drama series, which is pretty cool. You know, playing a hustler, a street guy, but it's gonna show me in another light where I came from. It's easy for me, but it's an actual role, which it takes time to shoot this, a couple of weeks, maybe a few months. And then I also have a music video where I'm starring as a lead, and I'm probably on day 4 of shooting that.
Wow, how do you get those gigs? I mean, do you have an agent out there? Or
Everybody
they just
asks
contacting you?
that. There's people who come there, models and stuff that come there, and they're going through LA casting. And I'm like, yeah, I got LA casting and stuff like that. But like, no, I don't get them through that. I network. What I did is I came to LA and I said, you know what? I'm gonna walk around Beverly Hills. So I did time walking around the neighborhood. I walked around Rodeo, Sunset, everywhere was highlighted, Hollywood Boulevard, and I would meet people.
Well, you have a very unique look.
And everybody's willing to, you know, help you in this. I kind of have the advantage because I'm not from here. And you're right, my look is unique. Most of them automatically sense it off automatically. Where you from? Oh, you're different. Your look, you'll fit the role right. Mm-hmm. And I got casted for the music video without an audition. Off of my headshot, off of my look. He just cast me for it without an audition. He was like, you know what? I casted you without even seeing if you can actually rap, sing, or none of that before he even looked my social media up. That's kind of funny. He didn't never look me up, look up my music or any of that. But then he was stoked. He constantly looked at me and said, man, you're dope. You actually have all the talents, and I only casted you because you looked it cool. You had the rock star type look, so I got you for the role. But I end up having all the traits. I can rap, sing. I know how to play the roles that they wanted me to play, act in the video. So it's like, it was super dope just to have the opportunity.
You're right there. You know, you are right there, because now they're going to say, wait a minute, we're going to do something special just with you.
Yes, sir. That's how I feel kind of now. And I got, well, on the 10th, we start the week after the 10th, we should start shooting. But I know this year, people will get a lot more bigger stuff from me. They might think I've made it, but I'll probably still be working. You know, I might have a lot of bigger stuff coming out where they can really get excited and see some pretty awesome stuff, because I've been working and the shots are dope. It's epic. It's very emotional. The video is going to blow people's minds who I'm doing it with and the people that I'm working with. The cast, the producers, the directors, they all are great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is that something you want to keep pursuing and get more into, or you want to do both? Music and acting?
I feel like it's just a blessing and I can do it, and then it's benefiting me good. And I'm actually getting roles, bigger roles, lead roles. I started out background work. I've been on Love and Hip Hop twice. It led to me actually going to a casting call like, hey, let me see if I can audition for something. When I left out of there, I left going to a Hollywood photographer for headshot. Mine are like really top notch. You know, quality. I got a lot of blessings where I might have didn't have the means at the time, because I came to California with nothing. You know, I've dealt with the homelessness. I've dealt with living hotel to hotel, and it might switch up if you don't book it fast enough during the daytime, you know, to everything is booked, because this is LA.
That's right.
I've overcame all that to the point where it became easier to me to pursue things and take the risk. That's all it really is. I'm taking a risk, and it's actually coming back to me tenfold.
Right.
So it's like I'm still soaking it in myself, you know, dream come true.
Yeah, same thing. 30 years ago, I had nothing. I had just got divorced. I'd already been married, divorced twice, had 2 kids. I was only 23. I came out here in a truck that I paid $50 for, and I lived in my car until I found a little room I could rent, you know, and I've been out here on my own ever since, just, you know, plugging away and knocking it out. You remind me a lot of myself, actually. And when you said that, you know, you had your headshots and you said they came out professional, everything that I've seen about you online is professional. You don't throw just junk or trash out there. Your stuff is top notch.
And that's crazy, because it's like I'm constantly challenging myself and battling, like, are you good enough? Say, well, I'm not the best artist, but I know I have a sound. I know that I'm unique. I actually do music. It's not like, oh, he's just doing songs and stuff. No, he's done this his whole life. He creates songs, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I can never really stop doubting if my content that I'm posting is on the quality or the level that I want it. So I'm always pushing for more and more. So I guess that's part of the reason why, like, I'm going so hard. I appreciate that, because you're not the first person who told me that. I've actually had somebody say, yo, I was looking you up. I was looking for the label you were signed to, and I'm still independent. So I had to really look at it and think differently. Like, hey, maybe that it's like people don't notice you as much because they think that you already made it.
That's true. Not that many people can say they have almost 100,000 views on all their videos combined. I mean, you're like right there.
Yes, sir. Correct. And that's not enough. It's like,
I know.
you know, I'm humbled by it, but it shows me that I respect people who are in the positions they are in so much more, you know, because it does take a lot to get where they are. It's not handed to you. It's like stages of your life that you learn, and you utilize what you learned to progress to that next level.
Right. Anyone who says they're an overnight sensation's been busting their ass for 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, they're lying. I know. I used to believe that it was like that. They blew up overnight. One song. No, they didn't promoted this one song for 5 years. You got artists who are just now reaping all the work they've put in for, like you said, going on 10 years. And me, myself, I've been doing this professionally going on almost 7 or 8 years. I would have said 10, but really buckling down seriously, like, you know, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm not just going to put music out from using SoundClick beats. I'm actually going to make my beats. I'm actually going to network with producers, purchase their beats. You know, actually, that's the business. Nothing is really, you know, you really got to invest into it and do it the right way and be looked at as a product that you're trying to convince people to buy,
right,
or even to be interested in. So, you know, you got to show them that you care more about that than them just listening to you. You care about the product yourself.
Yeah, that's true. What was their first song and video that you actually put out there?
Was one of the first ones, and I don't think people would believe it, but I've actually shot that on my iPhone 6S Plus when that was, you know, when it just came out. It was like super dope. It's on YouTube within a few weeks for it just to be like off your phone as a full-fledged music video. That was always like a little thing I let people know, like, hey, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to show yourself to the world, do it. Take the chance and show yourself.
Right. Why do you think that song you have called Going In, why do you think that one had the most views out of all of them?
From what I've been told, it's basically the emotion that I put into it, not alone the content or the topic, what I'm talking about, but the emotion behind it. A lot of people would say, you know, I understand what you're talking about. And then a lot of people who know me and see what I've been through to get where I'm at now and to even be able to say, hey, you're actually doing this. Like, it's no longer a dream, it's reality. They're like, I hear the hustle, I hear the grind, I hear you going in, I see you. Family members who never been to California, and Jersey's a real small town.
Okay.
So, you know, it has nothing to offer.
Wow.
They look up to you so much more and think that you made it, but don't know the behind the scenes. You know, they don't know when you were in your car out here, you're going to casting calls, you're going to auditions, and you're getting stuff. They're only seeing the upside that you post on social media.
Right.
That's where I refrained from posting just anything and started like, you know what, I'm going to just wait until, and just crazy because a lot of people, a lot of family members and stuff they look at me and they commend me for going so hard or basically just going in on everything I believe and stand for, willing to sacrifice my well-being, my home, a roof over my head just to go make it and struggle to do it the right way. So I know and appreciate what it's worth, you know?
That's true because emotion sells. You know, they always say, like, if you're on stage and trying to sell a product, if they're crying, they're buying because you hit them in the heart.
Right. Hey, I feel like I'm a rock star. Hey.
I actually became a pretty big fan of yours. You know, I love the rap, you know, more of the 80s rap growing up, listening to you, you know,
right?
The tone low.
I listen to a lot of old hip-hop. I listen to, really, there's no genre. Crazy thing is, you would laugh, I listen to country. I listen to different styles.
Nice.
And because they all have a different feeling. They all have a different emotion. They also have a different mindset they can put you in, you know. So if I'm always listening to rap as a producer, because, you know, I actually sit at the computer. I'm a master with a computer. I could clean a virus in no time. If you got a problem, leave it with K. But that came over time with running a recording studio, working all the technical side of it. So that's the skill that I had different than other people who I guess who were rapping, singing, or musicians. I actually knew how to do it all myself. I just took it and made it something different, but I rely on a lot of the old hip-hop sound for, like, just to base it on. But as far as, like, my melodies and the bouncy vibe with it to make it softer, you know, I go in more into country. I take a lot of that because there is this heartfelt, it could be painful, but the sweetest song ever, but the song is so deep and painful, you know?
That's true.
So it's kind of with a rock edge to it, and that's what I do. I throw a little rock edge to it just to make it be able to stand with today's time, you know, the younger generation, but it's a good reaction. A lot of my stats range from the ages of 18 to 60 plus years old, so it's like, it's pretty even. It's just people who love my music. There's not like you just could go for the younger crowd or the older. No, everybody loves K's music, so
that's true.
I'm striving for more, though.
So I want to talk about, you have the parental advisories on most of your songs. So I want to talk about the profanity a little bit, because some people say, hey, I don't want to listen to music, you know, that has the S word or the F word or whatever word. but I was listening to a Netflix special, but every other word was F this and F that. And I was like, why does he have to do that? It doesn't fit, you know? So I actually turned it off. But when I listen to your music, you're not saying profanity for profanity's sake. You're saying it because that's how you speak and that's who you are. And it doesn't sound like profanity to me. It doesn't bother me at all.
That's kind of because I've grown by me doing music, and when I work with other artists as a songwriter, like I can literally create a song off of anything. I do it all the time, so it's like I'll work with an artist and I tell them, you don't have to write. I want to catch you in a moment. Go ahead and just start with this topic. This is what you're feeling. Start with that. And I'm a critique where it needs to be critiqued to put it in the structure of a song. Me, myself, I try not to cuss as much, and I use metaphors. So when I do put parental advisory, that's because if I'm talking about a woman, the metaphors might be a little too much for the mind, because a metaphor is going to leave you basically whatever you think. It can mean more than one thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I might not straight out give it a cuss word. I might give it something that can mean that, but also mean something else. Like, it was something I learned a long time ago, because I feel like if you just saying F this, A-hole this, D this, then that's like kind of like you're slipping, you're lacking. You can't think of something else to put there, so you're going to like take the easy route and just put something there. Everybody can put a cuss word. You can make a whole song with it, but it's not saying nothing. It doesn't stick around. There's this one song, You, that I have up there, which is really like
I love it.
Commercial, and I don't really cuss in it, but I can say some stuff where it's still parental advisory, because I'm talking about a woman and how I'm talking about her. I'm making it in a way that is like older people are like, well, that's kind of smooth how you did that, because he was talking at work. He was doing his thing. As far as trying to get a woman or showing you interested,
that's true.
They were respected. But kids, you'll be like, your son walking around like, hey, I get a wetter than a sink. You know, that's the difference, is why I put parental advisory on it. You see what I'm saying? Even though that's harmful, but we know what it means.
Right, because I went back and I listened to that song again, you know, specifically listening for the cuss words. But it's about love to me.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously. And not only can you rap, you can actually sing too. Your harmonies and your vocals are really amazing.
Yes, sir. I believe I haven't considered myself a rapper. I didn't know what genre to go, like, really classify myself as, so I never really thought about that. I just came up, I'm a soul trap, or I'm like a hard R&B. It's like hard R&B where you would think it was rap, but you're like, hey, he got more of love. A lot of my songs is more based off of women, love situations, real topics, real situations, not just, diamonds are shining, we're in the club, big booty girls everywhere. I can't rap like that. If I tried, it wouldn't come out like the songs that you actually listen to, and you're like, hey, that's pretty good. That's dope. I can hear the talent in you, you know? I tried. Trust me, I tried. I tried to sound like other rappers of everybody. It doesn't work.
No.
You fail. I do better sticking to myself, and I can't even be somebody else. If I tried, it sounds horrible. But when I be my regular self, it creates a sound that nobody else has yet to emulate.
Right. So on that song called Poor, what does walking like a bank mean?
Poor, walking like a bank is no matter what situation, I know my worth. The next person won't know what I'm going through. You know, I would smile like I'm not going through nothing. You might be judged and people think you got it all, and they're going home and you're going to sleep in your car. You're going to sleep on the floor. You're going to sleep in the room just to wake up tomorrow and go for what you know. I've been through it all, so I can relate to people who really have nothing. That's a cliche, because there are so many people who I can relate to the streets. But there's not too many people who can say, no, I lived on the streets. I know how it goes. I know how it is to have to worry about paying for this or where you're going to be the next day, or just only enough money in your pocket to put gas in the car and get something to eat for the day. And if you make the wrong decision, that'll mess you up for a whole week, you know? So I'm really, that Poor represented something different, but it also let people know, don't let that tear you down.
Yeah, that's taking me back big time. I mean, the car I used to have to put 3 quarts of oil a day in it just to keep it going, you know?
Just to keep it going.
Yeah. So the song Jungle, is it pretty much like the same thing, because you're like living in a jungle and you're trying to survive?
Yes, sir. It's like in the jungle, it's everything going on around you. It's like, you know, it's so chaotic in the jungle. You got animals that won't hurt you. You got animals that are coming for you, trying to take your spot. You got snakes in the grass you got to watch for. You trying to remain a lion. You feel like you're a king in your own domain. And it's like jungle just represented basically somebody in an environment that they have to adapt to no matter what, you know, no matter what you're faced with. And I felt like growing up in the places I've been before I came to LA has done a lot of that for me, because seeing LA, seeing palm trees, something as simple as a palm tree, or the sun shining, or walking down Venice Beach has changed my whole mind state on what life has to offer than walking down the streets of New Jersey and seeing trash everywhere, or the casinos, because that's all they have, but it's like so overrated, you know? So jungle was just like getting out. It's only one way out. That's the environment, and outside of that environment, it's so different. Right now, you go to the Amazon, there's no other place like it. You go to the jungle is the jungle. There's no other place like it, you know? So jungle is like for everybody who want to get out. You're not stuck. I mean, there's people around you who are out to get you. There's something around every corner, but you can make it out. You got to adapt to every environment.
You say the line that says the lions and tigers and the bear, because, you know, they said that in Wizard of Oz, the lions, the tigers, and the bears. Oh, my.
Yes, sir. That's one of my favorite movies, too.
Wow.
I love entertainment. I got kids' movies down packed. Like, I love them, but they will never leave me. I'm a big kid at heart. I vow to always be happy. You will never lose that kid part of you that keeps you smiling. Sometimes I get in the mood to watch a kid movie that I haven't seen in a while, or you might pop up, oh, I remember that movie. And now the new generation know about none of these movies.
I know.
And, you know, they're redoing them now. And a lot of the ones, like, they're making them realistic. Like Pokemon is becoming a full-fledged new thing. So it's pretty awesome. I just love entertaining and making people smile, or trying to help people's emotions, whether they're sad, happy, angry. I try to show them what I do when I'm feeling them emotions, because I base everything off emotion. You know, even though I say no feelings, that's like a catchphrase. No feelings, no feelings. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, you don't get consumed by the wrong emotion. The wrong emotion could alter everything for a person. And by not letting it get to you, it'll let you actually see where you're headed and focus, like tunnel vision. I mean, I guess it's like manifestation in a way.
Right. Everything's a progression, like your whole career. Because now let's talk about, it's been about almost a year to the day, about Karma.
Yes, sir.
That's the album, 15 songs.
It sounds like an album, but no, I wouldn't call it that, because it's lower budget. Like, a lot of this stuff I might have invested into the beats, but a lot of it's recorded with me, mm-hmm. and it's over time, you know. Even though people are like, yo, it sounds great, you have a good sound, they would think that the production was done in a big studio in Hollywood, which I have songs that were done in them studios, but dealing with stuff like that, things happen. I'm still an independent artist, so I'm the only one putting music out for me as far as right now. So Karma, even Jungle, I'm not too sure if I'm going to leave them out as an EP. I know Jungle is in pro distribution, so it's distributed as a pro album. But right. Karma that was just me put out, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them out as a whole. I was thinking take, like, you know, pour off a Jungle and just release that as a single, because that's what everybody's looking at from the Jungle album, the EP. They're looking and listening to Pour, getting more engagement. And then off of Karma, it was a few songs that I was going to take and, you know, just put a video with them, give it to World Star, Vivo, YouTube, try to put it everywhere so everybody have a chance to get to watch it, download, you know, and do it that way instead of giving them so much content they don't have time to enjoy something first.
True.
And you need a visual these days.
That's true. Which one in particular? Runaway Love? Or
Yes, you said it. Runaway Love. So you're right on the ones that everybody, they basically let me know these have potential to be hits or even bigger if I have a chance to work with certain producers, you know, certain industry people bigger who can teach me something that I don't know, because I don't know everything. You know, I'm still working my way up the ladder. So if somebody can get me in and help pull me up the ladder, hey, we have a lot of fun working together, because I know how to do a lot on my own. So it's like it takes half the burden off of them, and it's more or less, well, let me show you how we can critique that.
Mm-hmm, constructively.
So
yeah.
I'm kind of in between right now with that.
It just seems to me like you're one relationship away of just knocking it out of the park and making it so big.
That's what they say. That's with family, friends, everybody, like, you're so close, and all I can tell them is I can't think about that.
You can't.
It's like one day I'm going to wake up and blink my eyes and everything's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is I'm already going to be used to it. I'm already going to know how to deal with it. I've been in mansions. I've been in front of $1 million production teams. You know, I've been around people. So it's like certain people change. Certain people know their roots and where they came from, which I believe I would benefit our nation even more just taking it to America. Because if I come up on $50 million, $100 million, you have to give back. You have to make a difference.
Exactly.
Think about what contribution would I be to society. Otherwise, why should I be picked basically or chosen to be at this level of success?
That's right. You can't hoard it all for yourself.
I can't hold it off onto myself. So I'm focusing on what would I do if I had that opportunity versus just saying, hey, you be famous, you'll have money. It doesn't mean nothing. Family members who got money and lost it all, and $1 million is nothing, you know, really nothing.
I know so many people who's inherited money and they just blow it all and they got nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing to show. I said I never wanted to be like that. I'd rather wait and take 10, 15 years working for it, because when I do get it, it's not going to go nowhere. That's like having an estate. I worked for it. I invested my life into it. So I feel like life is going to return it back to me. Like, I've seen what you put in. I've seen what you went without. I've seen the hunger and you're loyal to it, so you deserve it.
It's because you have such a good, solid foundation. And if something happens with that person, you're not going to fall all the way back. You're only going to go down just one step and boom, you're going to be back up 3 because you got the foundation. And it's going to come probably when you're just out there doing your thing, and then all of a sudden it's going to happen just like
it. Yep.
So you're a producer as well. So you rent out like your own studios for other artists to come in?
Yes, I do. I'm actually, since I just got back from Atlanta, we had DKMG Sauce Factory down there and also DKMG Studios, in which most clients would want to see me because I base my studio off of my sound. And when I record, I would use the template that I would use because nobody knows when K sets up his vocals. You know, it's a certain way I record. It's talent from me naturally, but it's a certain way that I use my plug-in change, what works for me, and that usually attracts every artist that comes in when they play their song, and then I play one of my songs. They're like, who is that? And then they're like, that's him. And then they all look like, wow, really? And you record that? Well, I want mine to sound like that. So it became a habit of me having my own sound that people are paying me to produce for them for.
Right. And if somebody wanted to find you out there on the internet, how would they find you? What would they look up?
They can Google, search anywhere. I'm everywhere they're at Hunned K, which is Hunned. I comment back to everybody. So if you comment, if you say, hey, what's up, K, you send me a DM, I'll do talk back. I'm not bougie. I'm a regular person. I do enjoy networking, helping other artists, any independent artists, singers. I'm working with rockers. You know, I know I got other people and producers that any style, any genre is not off limits. You know, we're hands-on with everything right now.
Definitely see you as an actor. I definitely see you as more musician, but then you want to get on those soundtrack and get that soundtrack money. That's forever.
Hey, I'm trying. I need a little help. I don't know everything. I just got into it. My music is available for licensing, TV and film. So if there are listeners, you can use it. Just send me a message to say I want to use your song. It is okay. I did that just for y'all to make it completely legit.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to say to the audience?
I just want to say blessings and peace and love to everybody, and I thank everybody for the support and my future supporters that will be interested and will show me that they support me, man. I came a long way, and without y'all, I probably wouldn't even be. I probably would have been gave up, but I haven't, and I'm not.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for being my guest star today.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, brother.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Love, brother.
All right, bye-bye. Love. That is one talented young man right there. If you're in a position to give him a break, he is ready and will not let you down. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Actors 2020 Podcast. I'm Johnny Keatth, your host, where we promote one actor at a time. If you're an actor and you would love to be promoted, just contact us at actors2020podcast@gmail.com. Now we're going to end this episode, like we end every episode, with something called The Lesson. Because life is a bitch. Gee, really? Why don't you tell me something I don't already know? Cause everywhere I go, people tell me what to do. Hey, go to church, go to school, you treat me like a fool. Now, I don't need religion, culture, or class. You don't like that fact? Well, you can kiss my ass. Yeah, I'm white and I rap. You got a problem with that? Loosen up. And don't be so uptight, take it easy, E. We got the whole night, yes, I'm psyched. I'm ready to get the show on the road. I don't want to stop, cause I just might explode. I tell you what, home slice, I'm twice as nice than any bad boy rapper called Vanilla Ice. My lesson, yeah, it's hip. In case you didn't know what I'm here to inform ya, I'm better than snow. I don't moonwalk or dunk like these Michael J's, but I can hold my own. You hear what I say? Now listen, learn, cause here comes the lesson. Lesson 1. Everybody sit down. JK is gonna take you for a ride uptown. Yo, this is the story of the Hollywood game. Choose your path careful, you're the only one to blame. Now when it comes to pot, crack, tweak, or blow, stick to the rules and just say no. Because you're young, you're eager, you want in the movies. Don't think you'll get there by giving up the booty. Cause they'll use you, abuse you, throw you out like trash. And then you'll discover that you're out of cash. Now your heart, your soul is somewhere on the shelf. And you're walking through the streets now talking to yourself. The lesson. Well, you heard lesson 1, it's time for lesson 2. You have a choice and the choice is up to you. I came to Hollywood to be a rich and famous star, but for now I'm waiting tables and I'm tending someone's bar. Pictures, classes, agents, where the hell does it all end? Every time I turn around, I'm starting over again. I finally got a break with a 5 line and under. My life was starting to roar like lightning and thunder. The phone rings, hello? I'm cast in a pilot. My life spun out of control just like an LA riot. I walked off the set, said to hell with this old man. The phone's not even ringing and my life is in the can. The lesson. Yeah, final lesson here, of course it's number 3. Now remember, I'm an actor to be or not to be. When the going got tough, I climbed into the bottle. I'm back on my feet now, revving my throttle on the climb to the top. It's the same old games. Now I'm kicking ass and I'm taking some names. Clawing, scraping, screaming, that was a long, hard crawl. But it was all worth it, I'm a box off the straw. Opportunity was there when I took it with a punch. Not now, baby, but let's do lunch. There's a big piece of pie and you should grab your portion. You can be like me, enjoying fame and fortune. Boom! That's the lesson. Go and learn it. It's the lesson. Go and learn it. It's the lesson. Peace out.